Dave here. I'm going to show you a simple way to adjust the valves on your side-by-side. This is in particular is my Coleman UT400. I have 1,400 miles on it. I adjusted the valves in this manner at about 650 miles, and now I'm doing it again. There is a actual real procedure. It's a lot more involved. You can do this in probably 45 minutes. It was getting to the point to where the machine was hard to start and didn't want to idle. So I'm going to adjust the valves and see if I can straighten it. You would be surprised on how many issues you may have that are just valve related. These machines they're rather finicky, honestly, and they do go out of adjustment. And if it wasn't done properly at the factory, they can go out of adjustment much quicker. So watch the video, and if you have any questions, put something in the comments, and I will be glad to help you out the best I can. It doesn't solve every problem, but this will solve your valve problems. In the future, I'll make a video on how to do the valves properly if I have time, but like I said, at this point, I have 1,400 miles on it. It runs like a top. We'll see what happens. But anyway, let's get started. Okay, the first thing you want to do is stick a rag underneath the valve cover above the exhaust there. Seems to me last time I did this, I had some oil drip out. So we're going to remove the valve cover gaskets. It's an Allen wrench on mine. I ended up having to get a pair of vice grips and grabbing it on the outer edge to break it loose. But it's coming out now. I'll just put this screw on top if I can't get my hands on another replacement. A little bit of oil came out, not too bad. Okay, now if you'll leave the key in the off position, you can easily just reach around with a screwdriver and short these out to crank the engine over. And we'll show you what that valve is doing. When it pushes downward, it's opening the valve, and then it goes up to close the valve. You see how it's compressing that spring? That means the valve is open. So right there, that valve is closed. I mean, that valve right there at that point is open. So you would adjust this valve down here. I'll do the adjustment on this one up here so it's easier to see, but I'm going to go ahead and adjust that one down here since it's in the closed position. Okay, I'm going to keep trying to turn it. I want this valve spring to be pushed down, meaning no, I want that valve spring to land with it up, meaning that valve is closed. That was close. You got to just keep trying it. Okay, that looks like it landed up. You can double check it by the bottom. Take the feeler gauge on that other valve and make sure it won't fit underneath to verify that that valve is opened. Okay, the other valve is open. This valve on top here is now closed. But I can't be assured that I'm on top dead center. There's a procedure to do all that, but it takes a lot longer. So what I'm going to do is put my feeler gauge in between the valve and the stem, and it's real loose. So you want to take your 10 millimeter wrench and loosen this nut up, and then turn this other part, the top part. You can use an adjustable wrench if you have to, and just get it to where it kind of bites to 0.08. 0.08 is the minimum clearance that they want. So if it's not exactly on the top dead center, it can only increase. So we'll set it to the very minimum. 0.08 is the minimum. And I think it's 0.11 or something is the maximum. Tighten this down and see this has a little bit of resistance now, and I want to pull it out. So that feels good. Now, before I put everything back together, I'm going to go ahead and bump it off and make sure she starts right up. Keep in mind, since I was jumping the solenoid with the key off, the machine is not flooded. Therefore, it should just start up. Turn the key like normal. Let the fuel pump pressurize. Turn the key. Starts right up. I'm not going to run it long. Now it's just a matter of reversing the process. Put your valve covers back on. Make sure those rings are in place. You could even put a little grease around those rings if you want and just tighten them down. I don't know what the torque specs are. Just tighten them up. Don't forget to take your rag off the exhaust. You don't want to fire. Thanks for watching.